And good evening, everyone. I'm ABC24 meteorologist CJ Cartledge here. We're going to be talking about the forecast first, then get into some interesting video in just a couple of minutes. I hope you all have stayed nice and cool out there, especially through the past few days. We started off this work week absolutely brutal in terms of the high heat and humidity, but tomorrow we'll get a break from that humidity and also the high heat once again, like how we saw for today, just without the humidity. Let's dive into our sky camera. Well, as you can see, overlooking the Cordova area, we can see a couple of clouds in the distance, some darker clouds in the distance. That just gives away that we saw a couple of storms here down to the southwestern portions of the region that are dissipating at the very moment. Currently, we are sitting at 90 degrees here near the Cordova area and around the Memphis area as well. I can suspect the temperatures are around the same area, around the lower 90s and upper 80s, but feels like temperatures are still 9 to 10 degrees higher than actual temperature. So we're still feeling that humidity as of right now, and that dew point is showing that pretty much. Those dew points between 71 to 75 pretty much denotes the uncomfortable feeling range. But as you can see, temperatures right now across the Mid-South, 88 by Covington, 88 for Bolivar, 87 by Tunica as well, 88 for Clarksdale, 90 by Memphis, just as mentioned before. That looks to be the warmest portion around the region at the very moment. I believe Tunica and Clarksdale were one of the hotter spots around the area not too long ago before they saw those isolated storms this afternoon. Here's a look at heat indexes at the very moment. A couple areas still feeling like the triple digits, but everywhere is on the decline in terms of the heat index right now, decreasing into those 90s. 99, it still feels like near Memphis. 102, it feels like near Forest City. Truman, feeling like 96, and feels like 91 by Clarksdale at the very moment. And because of the high feels like temperatures that we saw earlier today, we'll still remain under this heat advisory until 8 p.m. But I could see this being canceled a little bit before, mainly because the hotter spots are already down in the 80s in terms of heat indexes at the very moment, and not anywhere across the Mid-South are dealing with heat indexes at 105 or above at the very moment here. Here's a look at radar as of right now. We're going to go ahead and do a loop of the past 2 hours. As you can see, there were a couple of storms by Tunica County as well as near Coahoma County and Quitman County over there in our far southwestern portions of the Mid-South there. They have dissipated with the exception of a few storms over there by, I believe that's near DeSoto County as well as near Marshall County there, as you can see, just south of the Memphis metro area, but that should not last for too long. Still downpour that is present in the very area at the very moment. Heading in through the overnight hours for tonight, temperatures will be decreasing into the lower to mid 70s. This is different from what we saw last night. Still pretty muggy as we move through last night and into early this morning, but heading into tomorrow morning, we won't be feeling as muggy. You feel a little bit comfortable out there across the Mid-South here. Maybe see some upper 60s out there, so definitely a good sign that we are going to be dealing with much cooler temperatures as compared to the previous nights here around the Mid-South. But heading into tomorrow, we're expecting very similar conditions to what we saw for today, with temperatures only rising into the lower to mid 90s across the region, some in the upper 80s, and feels like temperatures will not be too bad out there. May even feel like the upper 90s for some areas, and maybe even 1 or 2 triple digits out there, but we're not expecting any outrageous feels like temperatures. Feels like temperatures won't be through the roof. They will just be at a moderate level due to the drop in dew points heading into tomorrow. And thanks to that cold front. Here's a look at the temperature trend through the daytime hours tomorrow. Once again, starting out in the 70s out there, reaching well into the 90s for much of us, and some of us may still rise into the upper, or at least, yes, upper 80s out there. Here's a look at our hour-by-hour forecast, though. We are expecting the remainder of these storms out there to, dissipate and or move out of the Mid-South to the south of us, and we'll be dealing with drier conditions heading through the overnight hours for tonight. Maybe a couple clouds, and if you are looking for tonight's full moon, which is the buck moon for the full moon in July, you will have a pretty good chance of seeing it, as you can see there. Just moving through the pre-evening hours, pre-overnight hours, or the evening hours, as I should say here, we could deal with mostly clear skies out there. Clearing of the clouds are expected, and even heading through the overnight hours, maybe a couple clouds will pass by, but it shouldn't be too difficult to see tonight's full moon. And even as we move into the early morning hours, maybe a couple of clouds will still pass by, but as the moon is setting, you may still be able to see it out there in the, I believe that's the eastern sky or the western skies where it will be setting. It will be rising in the east for tonight, east-southeast that is. As we head through the daytime hours for tomorrow, we will be dealing with mostly dry conditions, maybe an isolated shower or two, but I'm not expecting much to go on through the daytime hours for tomorrow. And as you can see, moving into the evening hours, we could see a couple clouds rolling in, but that's pretty much going to be it for your Thursday outside of the more comfortable feeling conditions out there with lows in the lower 70s, highs in the lower 90s out there. Here's a look at our heat indexes moving through the daytime hours for tomorrow. We are going to be feeling like the mid and upper 70s in the morning hours, but we will be feeling like the mid 90s, only the mid 90s heading into our afternoon. So that's definitely a good sign as well. We may see heat indexes max out at around 96 here for our Memphis area, just as what we're going to be seeing here. 96 right on the dot here. 93, this is what it's going to feel like by tomorrow afternoon near Covington. 88 for Dyersburg. It's going to be feeling like around 100 or 101 to 104 for those near Tunica as well as near Clarksdale and Coahoma County. It's going to be feeling like 95 by Forest City and 94 over there by Oxford. Here's a look at the dew points as a result of this cold front moving in from the north. As you can see there, it's already moved through some portions of Memphis, but it's going to continue to push southward. We may still see some leftover humid conditions here for the Mid-South as we move through the daytime hours for our Thursday, and that typically happens here with the humidity moving in from the south during the daytime hours and retreating back to the south heading into the overnight hours for as per usual here. But as we move into the daytime hours tomorrow, actual temperatures will range from the upper 80s to those lower 90s and maybe even some mid 90s out there. 95 for Tunica, 92 for Holly Springs, 93 there by Memphis, and around 89 for Dyersburg heading into tomorrow afternoon. So it won't be feeling too bad out there, still feeling hot like the summertime usually brings out there across the region. We've already looked at heat indexes, so we're going to look at the 3-day forecast ahead of us. We're going to be dealing with pretty much near normal temperatures through Thursday. Same thing for Friday with slightly higher rain chances, but heading into our Saturday, that's when we could start to see higher rain chances once again, at least throughout the daytime hours and into the morning and also into the afternoon as well. There is a marginal chance for severe weather heading into our Friday, though, so we'll have to watch out for maybe the potential for some damaging wind gusts as well as some frequent lightning and maybe even some flash flooding heading into our Friday, mainly during the afternoon hours here. Rain chances through the next 7 days ahead of us aren't expected to rise so high for Thursday, rising a little bit higher heading into Friday and Saturday, but remaining at a low level heading into Sunday and throughout much of the next work week here. Here's a look at the full 7-day forecast ahead of us. We are going to be dealing with highs near the normal for this time of year heading into Thursday and Friday, below the normal heading into Saturday and Sunday, at least for high temperatures, but for low temperatures will remain around that average for this time of year. So get ready for cooler conditions heading into the weekend, but make sure to keep that umbrella handy as you head through the weekend as well. Moving into next week, we will be dealing with warmer conditions once again here around the Mid-South, and we will see potentially those temperatures stay around that average, which is around 92 for a high and around 74 for a low. Once again, keep your umbrella handy heading into the weekend, but we will be dealing with cooler or more comfortable conditions heading into tomorrow. Meteorologist Daniel McDonald has your regional forecast coming up after the break.